The FBI's watching right now. They're watching this video. They're watching the comment sections. They admitted it. Before we begin, I would like to first let the FBI know. I know you're watching this. I know you're watching the show. I know you've seen it. I hope you've enjoyed it. You apparently know a lot about me, except, I don't know where I was on January 6th. You have no clue. I don't want to be rude. All right. They were pleasant. It was a good time. I even showed him the picture that we've got, the signed, autographed, framed picture of Elton John that we have. He gave to my daughter, Samantha. Okay. And so she knew about Sammy. So she'd gone through my Facebook. She'd gone through my YouTube. She'd watched some of the videos. She knew a whole bunch of stuff, including the fact that I was recording that day, that I was on the air that day. It's verifiably so. And yet, they're following up on an anonymous tip, and they know better. And in fairness to them, again, look, I'm not going to try to be rude. I'm a little bit grumpy, but I'm also flattered. I'm obviously infamous enough that some honcho, some loser LARPing honcho, left-wing fanatic loser made a false accusation, took the time not only to go through to try to find who was at the rally, but then looked at some dude with a freaking beard and black glasses and said, Jeremiah Bannister. Jeremiah Bannister, that's him. And then picked up the number. I'm going to call the FBI. I'm going to try to say it was him. You dumb freaking idiot. What a buffoon. Whoever you are, suck it. Suck it. Oh, and by the way, hey, FBI, see these hands? Take a look. Take a look-see. Look at this. Look at the hand. You can see my freaking knuckles. I don't have Polish sausage fingers. Look at it. Look at the wedding ring. I don't take this crap off. And if I tried to loosen it up, look at that. I've been wearing this for a minute. The picture that the FBI showed me, I'm not even going to show it here. The hint is the person that they had the picture of don't look nothing like me. Look at the color of my mustache. It's blonde. It's so blonde that if I have a mustache up here and it's a black and white picture, the only thing that shows up is the orange in the middle. And people think I've got some kind of Hitler stash. Bunch of bigot weirdos. Busting on my full stash. Lumping me like it's like, come on, give me a break. Then look at the glasses. Take a quick look. These are VA issued glasses. You see these? See these? See how this comes out right here? Now go back and look at the glasses that dude is wearing in the picture you shared and said was me. That you took my time. Go back and look at it. I don't even have to show them right now. Here's the amazing thing. I don't have to show them a single freaking thing. Do you know why? Because they watched the video of me on the air live that day. And that day here in my basement, I have a green screen. How do you think I got it like this? You can see this? I have an 8 foot by 10 foot green screen behind me. I got big lights here. What do you think I'm doing? But they watched it that day. They saw how my beard was trimmed. They saw how I keep my beard kept nice. That dude's beard was all kind of woolly. No offense to him, whatever. But that ain't how I roll. And they know it for a fact. They could see my fingers. They could see it. It's unbelievable. But here's the thing, guys. And I'm just gonna level. And I hope that they don't take offense at this. Either way, whatever. Here's the thing. I don't even believe that they thought that was me. It's one of those things like, how people can look at Jesus, right? The grilled cheese Jesus, and they can see the image of our Lord in there and be like, oh my gosh, it's an icon or something. Something magical, and they can see that there's a specific term for that, being able to see stuff that's not there. And that you can do that, Rorschach tests, and you can do that with fuzzy screens and everything else. But so if you have somebody And they've got certain features like a beard and glasses, like dark glasses. And then they've got a winter hat and stuff on, and they've got kind of a hoodie. You would see basic things, beard and this, and you'd go, oh, wow, yeah, okay, I can see, like, if you glance and turn away. I get that. But if you're the FBI, if you're the FBI and you're going to call me because your boss is talking to you, you're part of a task force to find people out, and you want to come over and talk to me, and you look at the glasses and you look at the face and you see those hands and it looks like somebody's got balloons for hands, looking like it's all swollen and bruised up and junk, and you can watch a video of me that exact same day, and look at how I do this. See this? Natural. I move my hands naturally all the time. Look at it. Look at it. I move it all the time. I'm on that video. You can compare my hands. What would I have had to have done that day? And am I on video the very next day again? Was it? And if I was on the video the next day, was my hand still swollen? Did I do some magic trick to make my hand look all puffy and gross? Offensive, man. It's offensive. Not the individual people, the mandate. Let me clarify. They are, deputies for the U.S. Marshals? Okay, I have it, hold on. I'd never seen anything like this before. I'd never seen a badge flashed, and I recorded the whole thing, so I took a screenshot. And I'm not even going to say their names. I'm hoping that this is a sign that I'm not trying to be antagonistic. I'm legitimately upset about something. And I think that there is a bigger reason. I wish that they were actually honest, because I don't believe they were being honest with me. Right here. And I was being honest with them. Right here. Federal Bureau of Investigation, United States Department of Justice. Okay, this is to certify that blank, person, whose signature and photograph appear on below, basically, is a special deputy U.S. Marshal. Yeah. In a task force. And I'll say this, I didn't notice this in real time, but that badge expired on March 31st. So in what capacity was that individual there? And again, I'm sure that this individual is working with them. I'm confident. I believe a detective of some kind. I tried calling and asking, and I said that it was expired. And they said, well, it's probably in the process of getting another one issued. And I thought, normally for like legal things like that, don't they give some kind of like interim certificate or something? Like, it's kind of important to know if it's expired or not, right? Isn't that actually an important thing? I asked about it. I said, look, if I have a driver's license and it's expired and I got a new one coming, but I went through the process, they're going to give me this piece of paper for the meantime that's notarized or whatever. It lets them know, at least, that legally speaking, that I've done what's necessary and I'm just waiting for this to come through. There's no like test waiting to be evaluated. It's just done, and it's just waiting for the print of that driver's license to come back. And so I thought, this is a month and a half old. This is a month and a half overdue. There was no other piece of paper not presented to me. And there were two people. One of them, it was well within the boundary. And so the person that was there, I'm assuming monitoring or being there as a witness of some kind, that person's was not expired. But I sit here and I say, this entire thing is upsetting from beginning to end. And it's upsetting not only because I wasn't there, which is obviously, they know this. They know it is a fact. They know this, okay? I was not there at all. I was in Michigan, in Grand Rapids, at my home, okay? They know I was live. So they know that I was at least doing something live. They know that. And the idea that they wouldn't have access to know things to do with geo-tracking or anything like that. Give me a freaking break, man. Give me a freaking break. I've been at this way too long. I've been at this way too long. Okay? But I sit there and I say, why are they talking to me at all? You can say, well, they're following up on an anonymous tip. BS. I'm sorry, there's no way that they could look at that in those images and say Jeremiah Bannister. No. Not with every other mechanism they could do to weed it out. Give me a break, man. So again, why? Why? I'm trusting, by the way, that there was some anonymous tip. I'm trusting that. That's why I'm making a video, because I was divided as to whether or not to even make a video. Okay? And it's this, is that, I know a lot of different people. I'm a huggable, lovable kind of guy, right? I've got a good family story. I have a bunch of cute kids. I tend to get along with people. I make friends, with people to network with relatively easy. It's not difficult. I'm not off-putting. Unless you're some crazy freaking leftist weirdo. Then maybe. But you know what? The whole world to them is cuckoo crazy because they're freaking clown world weirdos. They're freaking weirdos, man. So I said, well, so the weirdos don't really dig me. Whatever. But I know people. And I make videos. And I do stuff just like this right here, what I'm doing right now. I do this. And so if I go and I post this, it's going to get a whole bunch of comments. And lo and behold, guess what? Guess what? The post that I did, tons of people commented. And guess what happened? People said, I was there. I would talk to the FBI this way. They're watching right now. The FBI's watching right now. They're watching this video. They're watching the comment sections. They admitted it. They admitted that they're already watching my stuff. And I'm like, man, isn't this weird? Because I stopped doing my show like months ago. I'm writing poetry, man. I'm writing a novel right now. I listen to music and look at paintings. I share that stuff on Telegram. If you follow me, you'd see. It's what I do. I read Ovid. I read Aeschylus. I'm reading, what is it, A Monster Calls? Reading that right now. And so I just kind of, I just shake my head. And I say, is that what they were trying to accomplish? Because now you got a bunch of people commenting. A bunch of people saying that it's there. Am I the honey trap? That's infuriating, by the way. If it's true, man, if people want to say, Jeremiah, we want you to come back, dude. We really miss the wolf pack. What would it take? This right here. Because it's what it feels like. I feel like I'm used. I feel like I'm being used. And I feel like whoever that cuckoo crazy weirdo was, I've got some ideas, man. I've got a couple different folks that I think might be the ones. And that's keeping me humble, right? Thinking that, it's not like national fame. That it's somebody local, right? Or at least in Michigan that knows me. And they're like, I think that might be him. Kind of thing. People on my tail. Well, whatever. I feel like our tax dollars are wasted more than I even imagined. And I feel disheartened because here I am putting myself out there. And think about it. In my social circle, for somebody to come out and say, I don't think people should go to that rally. I think that's dangerous. I think that's not a good idea. That's not an easy position to take because people in my circle, they're like, look, it's a Trump rally. On my side of the political spectrum, you know how many people I could have met up with? You know how many people I could have networked with? I'm glad I didn't. There's other ways to go about it. But did it matter in the end? Well, yeah, I guess to an extent. But here I am. Here I am looking at two agents. And we're having a conversation. And they're fishing away asking if I know a whole bunch of stuff. And here's the thing. I didn't have to I didn't, people say, well, dude, you don't want to say anything that could be twisted. And so I can't. Because here's the thing, is that I only know what was able to be known by going online. It's what and yet here I am. The guy, right? The agent, the dude. He was saying that he thinks it's okay. And I'll take him at his word, right? I'll throw him that bone right now. I'll take him at his word that he thinks it's okay for people to go and to rally and to protest. That's their right. Okay. And he was saying it like I was disagreeing because I was saying that I was against it. I didn't think people should go. And he's like, well, I think people should be able to go. And I'm like, well, yeah, so would I, except that we live in an era of absolute politics. And because even people who don't go, and even people who are verifiably at home 15 hours drive away are now in the front yard with neighbors around and a camera out recording a conversation with an FBI agent and a half. You wanted to know how to get me back. You wanted to know. What can we do? What can we possibly do? Well, there's the genie. You rubbed that bad boy. You rubbed it. Out comes the genie. What do you want? We want Paleocrat back. Bada boom, bada bang. You got him. You got him. Wasn't the world great when I was able to just simply sit back and watch videos and look at paintings and read poetry? And mind my own freaking business and lament the fact that the world is going to hell in a handbasket? Wasn't it grand? My throat was grateful. My emotions were grateful. My time, grateful. My schedule, grateful. Kids, wife, grateful. I'm not going to go quietly in the dark, man. I'm not going to go quietly in the dark. I wish this didn't happen. It's so disheartening. What hope is there? And I told him, I said, what hope is there for the Johnny Q and Sally Sue, other people who might be way more scared than me? Not as educated as me. Not as up to par with the shenanigans of NatSec like me. The tactics that are used. What would it be like for them? You guys shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that. I can't even tell you. You should not have done this. I'm going to encourage people, if you comment, just know that they're watching. I'm not even going to events now. There's events that I'm like, you know what, man? I don't want to be a honeypot. I don't want to be the honey trap for people that it's like, oh yeah, well, we ping this guy's phone like crazy. We're keeping track of him. As I said, I was reluctant to even make this video, but people were worried. People were wondering if I was arrested. Heck no, I'm not arrested. No, dude, you want to talk about a fight? You want to talk about a fight? You come trying to bring that crap to the guy who was at home lamenting, literally crying. By the way, I think I even talked about that on the show. Literally crying when I'm watching on the screen. I put it on the big screen to watch. And I'm sitting there with my family and I'm listening to people sing the national anthem outside those doors. And I'm not comfortable watching this. That's not me. I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be sitting there going, oh, let's go inside the White House. Are you freaking ridiculous? But I'm watching it. And I'm saying, we are in a really crazy place right now. I've said it so many times for months of my life, day in and day out. I said, we are at a place right now that is so wicked bad. It's so divided, and there's nothing in between that I don't know how we can avoid the fisticuffs. But I wasn't arrested. Yet. If they're going to come with that crap, I don't even know what else they could come with. They could pull anything out. I don't even know. You don't even know. What could it possibly be? If they're willing to roll with that picture, if they're willing to roll with those pictures, they're going to, you could roll with anything. And then what's the worst that could happen to them? Oopsie doopsie. Oops. Our bad. I never even thought before this. I don't know why I never thought about it. It wasn't personal, I guess, but the fact that people can even do, anonymous tips and stuff. And the FBI doesn't know who they are. And yet they act on it and everything. I said, man, that's like a perfect recipe for harassment. You could really harass the daylights out of somebody. And they'd never be able to know. And they'd say, well, but we weed those out. Well, apparently you don't. Apparently you don't. Apparently you don't even have the basic mechanism. Right? Detective Magoo. What's wrong with you? Buy some glasses, man. The superior who was with the agent with the expired card, they were both pleasant enough. Nothing against them personally, whatever. But the superior that said, I don't know, is that Jeremiah? Is that Jeremiah Bannister? I can't tell. You know what? Go buy a new pair of freaking glasses, Magoo. You're blind as a freaking bat. What a joke. Well, that's the update. There it is. There it is. And that ain't the first time I've dealt with Mickey Mouse operations. I don't mean to, beat my own chest like Donkey Kong. I don't like the thunder, man. I try to do fun stuff and fun shows. I want to say this. It's the last thing, man. So, back in 2016, after my daughter died, I was an atheist still at the time, right? I told the agents this. I said I was an atheist at the time. And I said I was a Trump supporter, secretly, right? Because my job and other things I was involved with, it was a scary time. That's when people started talking about, violence and stuff like that, and talking about calling people Hitler and other dumb crap. And it really worried me, and I talked about that stuff on the air. But as the election got closer and closer and closer, the emotions and everything, it was so crazy, everything that was going on. And the emotions I was experiencing were really intense. And I remember, I forget what it was, what current event, what the situation was, but I remember going by the window by the front door of my home, and I cried out to God for the first time in like 8 years of my life. For our country. I didn't pray when my best friend Scott died. I didn't pray. I didn't pray when my daughter died of cancer. I didn't pray. But I prayed for our country. And maybe that's all sorts of messed up. It's just the way it happened. But that day, watching in my living room in Grand Rapids, Michigan, watching what people are doing at the Capitol, singing that song and pushing on those doors, those sacred doors, I cried the same way. This is scary stuff to me. We live in tumultuous times. My farewell on the show had to do with this topic. And I used a Bible verse and said, in evil times that to be silent. And I asked myself, am I being silent? And why? It's so counterintuitive. But I believe these are evil times. I've said that in the cycle of civilizations and cultures and stuff, that we're in this kind of death spiral. That nations come and go, that they're born, they live, and they die, and we're in the throes of that now. And everybody, all these different sects and tribes all divided up and balkanized like crazy, are fighting amongst each other, and the state's turned into nothing but pure power. Power and money. And I've tried so hard to think, how can we get out of this? My work is a testament to that. We ain't out of it yet. But I'm back.